What going on? It's your boy VI Guy here, and welcome back to another video on my channel. In this video, we're actually going to go through the Diamond Casino Resort heist, and I'm going to break down step by step on how to bring a team of 4 people from beginning to end without any alarms on the inside or the outside. For this heist, the target item is going to be gold, and your entrance is going to be staff entrance. The exit is going to be waste disposal, and obviously you want the high level buyer. I'm just going to go ahead and give you a heads up on the outfit. You're going to want to choose the one that has the night vision goggles attached to the mask. This is because if you use any of the others, every now and then the night vision gets turned on when you do the action to bring it down, and sometimes the thing don't want to come off. I don't know why. It's probably just a bug within the game. I find that if you use this particular outfit, you don't have to worry about those issues. We are netting about 55% to one of our guys. This is his first time doing a heist, and he was really in need of money. So this wasn't really a money run, but we were so successful that I decided to use this video as the best tutorial for a 4-player sneaky and silent heist. And if you find this video useful or helpful in any way, please like and subscribe to your boy's channel. Every follower is greatly appreciated, and it helps small channels like me grow. So with that out of the way, you're gonna hop in the truck and head to the casino. There are 2 cameras outside the staff entrance. One is stationary and the other one is panning. The first one is going to be the panning camera. You can actually shoot this camera or shock it. I recommend shocking it, as you can only shoot 1 or 2 cameras depending on how Lester feels. And another option would always be to go underneath it. You can go under it when it's looking away, and once it changes directions, proceed to the other side. That way is very risky because the game can be very buggy on some occasions. Once inside, you're going to be placed by the metal detector. You go ahead and have someone shock that. Now what works for me is a great leader will always assign people tasks. So I went ahead and I assigned particular players to only shocking and particular players to only shooting. Because these heists have so many options, there's no way to predict where the guards are going to be, but the more players you have, the more chances you are of having guards together. Make sure that only one person always does the countdown, and the person doing the count verifies who has what target. And you want to take them out just like that simultaneously. Now, you also can't choose which doors are going to be open and which doors are not, so you might want to just browse the easier areas first before you go ahead and start clearing an area. If you don't have to kill a guard, then don't. Usually that just leaves more room for error, more bodies to be found. Another useful piece of information is to have some of your boys wait outside. Sometimes they want to push ahead and get too close to you, and that sometimes prohibits you from moving around. If you don't need them to be right behind you, then tell them wait. There is no consequence for telling them to stay in the hall until the area is cleared. You can rotate between who you want to shoot and who you want to shock, but just be clear in the names of who you want to come up and shoot and who you want to stay back and wait. Otherwise, everyone's gonna come in and try to shoot, and you're gonna be stuck, and there's a chance that you can be spotted. So right here I had my guy run out and shoot the camera, and I went ahead and I waited for this guard to come around and I shot him in the head. It is important to note that where I took him down at, he will not be seen by another guard or the camera. After taking him down, I told the team they can go ahead and move forward, and I had them come and wait in this hall area. I had one guy stay back to open the daily take safe. Now he is the guy who I had shot previously, so he's aware that there is a camera in that hall and he knows to check it before he comes in. If you let a guy who didn't shoot it come this way, he might not be aware of the camera and get everyone spotted. Now there ain't no way to predict where the guards are gonna go, so always pay attention to the map for situations like this, where a random guard comes down a random hall and tries to ruin your playthrough. So it is important to have either someone always checking the map, or you yourself take that responsibility on to make sure that nothing random happens that can jeopardize the entire heist. Usually once you hear that little chime, you'll know that all the money is taken from the daily take room, and you can go ahead and move on. As a leader, you want to make sure that you wait for everybody to move on to the next area, because usually stragglers are the ones caught by cameras or guards. Now, this first flight of stairs has one guard that comes up. You can go ahead and knock him out. It is close quarters, so a headshot would be a little bit more tricky. You can also shock him as well and then shoot him in the head, but I just went ahead and meleeed him. The second flight has a camera. You go ahead and have your shocker guy come up and shock the camera. He and he only should tell the entire team when it is safe to move up. You don't need to keep your head out to see if he did his job or not, because that will cause more chances for error. Once the camera in the stairwell is back online, you can go ahead and have one of your shocker guys shoot this camera that's in between both the double doors. After doing so, you can proceed to the double doors. Just be aware, sometimes the guard comes directly to you between these doors, or he uses the other side. So just pay attention to that. Now you can go ahead and shoot that one camera that the game allows. Usually upstairs it allows you to shoot two, but once you're in the basement, you're only allowed to shoot one. Now once that camera is down, I usually direct the team to this room here on the side that only has one way in and one way out. And you should wait here for that guard to do his entire round. He usually walks down to the elevator and walks back up through these double doors, at which point you can take him out. Just wait for him to come through the doors, because sometimes if you shoot him through the glass, it will create a noise circle and alert the other guards at the table. Also note that you want everybody to stand back, because sometimes the game glitches and he can see you through the wall. You know how it is sometimes in GTA. At this point, you're gonna go ahead and spawn the nano drone. Just make sure you have enough room to call it out. Once you call the nano drone out, you want to go ahead and take out that one guy that is facing the entrance to the vault, and you want to shoot him with a tranquilizer. Be sure that you don't get too close with the drone, because they can spot it in their cones and alert everyone else. Once he is down, you can now go ahead to proceed to the keycard vault entrance. At this point, I told everyone to keep left and proceed to the doors and avoid any vision cones. But after taking the camera down and the guard down, you shouldn't have any issues just walking around. Now, I'm sure most of you know you have to time this keycard swipe. Again, just have one person do the countdown, and usually on 3 is when we swipe.
Everyone needs to get inside so we can close the first door and then open the second. Get everyone inside the man trap now.
Once in the tunnel, there seems to be a thing where everyone decides to jump, because those extra 2 steps after jumping allows you to move a little bit faster. I'm sure if you were doing the elite challenge that you would prefer to do this just so that you can shave off some seconds in how long it takes to get to the vault.
So far, so bueno. Push on to the vault. Ha! Looks like the guard at the vault room isn't there. Happy days.
So next up we have the laser drills. Get ready for this learning curve. So I actually struggled with these drills for a little bit until I realized exactly what I needed to do. The best way to get through with this quickly is to pull the trigger and hold it until it gets to the top. Once it gets to the top, you let go and let it go all the way down. Once it hits the bottom, just pull the trigger again. And as you can see, it takes about a full charge to get almost to 1 disc, and then that's it. It's easy.
Okay, right side's all done.
Once both guys are done with the laser drilling, you're into the vault. At this point, I usually assign my lesser skilled hacking guys to grab from A and B, and I usually take a hacking pad, and the guy that I think is best in hacking, I usually send him to the other side of the vault to hack that side. You always want to have one guy hacking to open doors and another guy taking from the stash. Fingerprint hacking 101. You want to look at the picture, get a good look at what it's shaped like, and then pick from the images provided. Now, we got lucky on this run. It was a 1-step fingerprint verification. Sometimes it is 2-step. So after I got that gate open, I went inside to make sure that there was no more devices to hack, and I proceeded to the next gate. I also went ahead and called out the next available letters to be hit by the guys taking the money, so that they know where to go next instead of looking around or asking around. Usually, if you know their gamer tag, you just say a letter and their name and they know exactly where to go next. And that communication alone will allow you to make a little bit more money than the next guy who doesn't communicate. With a team of 4 guys, after verifying that all the gates are open, only then I think should the hacker start taking money. If it's a team of 3 or 2, that can vary. Usually you try to have everybody take money, but with 4 people in, you want to make sure that all the doors are open so that at no point someone's just standing around. So because Rockstar was anticipating people to cheat, glitch, or hack the heist, they actually set the max amount limit to just over 3.6 million. So once you hit that goal, usually we try to take a little bit more for cushion, just in case we are alerted and we get shot at. As long as you're above the 3.6 mark, you'll get the max amount you can possibly get for this heist. Now, usually going in, I always direct my entire team that we would leave at 20 seconds remaining, no matter what. It doesn't matter if they're just starting to hit a table, if they're in the middle of drilling. At 20 seconds, I find that that is the amount of time it takes to get from the furthest point in the vault without being able to jump to the front door. It is important that you make it out before the timer hits 0, and the nerve agent will not be released. If the nerve agent is not released, you will not be alerted to the guards, and you'll be able to stealth your way out just like you stealth your way in. Once out of the vault, you'll have to do your last 2-card access, and if you time it just right, you'll get it perfect just like this.
Get your key cards ready. You really cleaned up down there, you know? They're not gonna know what hit them. Except for the insurance bill.
Once everyone reaches to the end of the tunnel, you want to go back into stealth mode and approach this room from a different direction. I recommend going left into the computer room if you have keycard access and taking out the guard in there.
You did good down there. This is gonna be a nice little payday and a whole lot of smug satisfaction.
At this point, exiting the room, there will be a camera that does a 180 in its area. You want to make sure that you send your shocker guy out once the camera is facing away to take it out. Once he does, you want to direct the team to move forward and go left into a waiting room. Be aware that you cannot shoot this camera down if you shot that one camera to get in. At this point in the heist, you will be faced with the most amount of moving parts. You have 3 guards at a counter and 1 guard doing a route on top of a rotating camera. So what I suggest you do is assign 1 person to the camera, show them exactly where you want them to be, have them set up with the taser. Then you want to assign 2 of your guys to the 2 guards at the table. One being the one facing the double doors and the other one that has his back turned to you guys. And because there is one more guy behind the column, I took him out. So what you want to do is have your guy shoot the camera first, and then have your guys on the triggers ready on your count, because they won't know when you have a clear shot on the guy behind the column. Once you have that shot, you do a countdown and take everyone out. Please be aware of the guy doing his rounds, and also be aware of the guy who puts his head down in front of the computer. You don't want to set that shooter up for failure.
Without a sound.
Usually Lester gives you a little bit of a confirmation if you have not alerted anyone after successfully taking out a target. Just note about the camera coming back online and the guard that does his rounds. You want to make sure you take him out when he's outside in this open area so that he's not in front of any cameras. And you also want to have your taser guy take out the camera before you leave that waiting room. As you are exiting, do not forget about that camera that faces the staircase between both double doors. You want to go ahead and have your taser guy jump out there and take that camera down. Before you proceed into the stairway, you want to make sure that that camera comes back online before shooting the stairway camera. If you shoot that camera in the stairway before this camera comes back online, you will trigger an alarm because two cameras will be down at the same time. You should always keep an eye on it and wait to hear the sound that it has been turned back on. Once your taser guy gets the camera in the stairwell, have the entire team proceed up. And whoever is the host of this heist, you want to go ahead and have them or yourself open up your phone and prepare to use the EMP. Once Lester starts talking, you want to go ahead and activate the EMP and proceed to the waste disposal through the ground floor. It is important that you do not take out any of the guards on this floor, because once the power is restored, you will automatically be detected from finding a dead body. Try your best not to stand directly in front of any of the guards, especially those that are walking. I have seen other teams come through here with a light jog. Instead of creeping, I just directed my team to stealth walk until they got inside the waste disposal room. Then I told them that they could run. I didn't want to chance them bumping into a guard or a chair or creating any unnecessary noise.
I've missed this.
Once everyone's at the door, the power will be restored before you're allowed to exit. At which point, if you didn't kill anybody, you will not be discovered. Once everyone's outside, you want to quickly make your way around the corner to the back of the building and avoid any vision cones. Once you make it around the corner and you avoid that guard that is walking towards the building, you want to have everybody jump the fence onto the horse track. Once you're over, you want to go right and make your way tightly around the outside of the track. Be mindful that there is a guard on the corner of the building watching the track, so stay a little bit to the center until you get behind the hedge. Then once you do, get directly on the edge of the track. There will be a guard in front of you, but he is actually underneath the bridge, so you will not bump into him but you want to make sure that everyone makes it around the track quickly, because there is a guard walking towards the bridge who will spot you on top if you're not out of his vision cone quickly enough. Once the railing around the track finally breaks, you want to make a hard right and head towards the tall fence straight ahead. Be sure to climb the fence and slightly move forward so that you either land on your feet or roll. If you're moving too quickly, or if someone's right behind you and pushes you, there's a chance you can fall on your back and lose money. At this point in the heist, you can either improvise or use the getaway vehicles. I didn't realize until after I watched this tape that I could have taken out the guy in that white SUV and we would have gotten a 4-door vehicle. But because I didn't do that, instead we took the getaway vehicles, which are two-door cars. If you can get a 4-door car for a 4-man team, that is actually preferred. And luckily enough, we were all able to get in our vehicles quickly enough that the helicopter did not spot us. Therefore, we were not discovered. Once you're in the car, your best bet is to head towards the sewer tunnels and get underground. Once you can get under there without being detected, you'll be home free. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helps.